The Adagio Specification Designer canvas is divided into various sections, reserved for different areas of the form to print appropriate information. Sections are identified by gray bars above and below the section area. To edit a section, left-click on the gray bar above the area, which will reveal red markers when selected, and then right-click to choose Properties. There are many different section types, depending on which program you are designing the form. Most forms require a page header and a page footer section, and there are two types of each, in case forms might be long enough to require multiple pages. There will also be a detail section to print a row for each item on an invoice, or each invoice on a statement, or other detail types. And an end-of-page section type used as an indicator for the end of the very last section, rather than forcing a page break. Depending on which program you are using, the options for setting up detail sections will differ, as will the number of detail sections you might include. For receivables, there is just a single detail section type to choose from, and then a detail type field is revealed to determine which kind of details will print, either invoices with or without the matching transactions. Bank rec spec details have a similar setup for printing either customer invoices or revenue distributions on cash receipts. Both sections can be set up on the same spec, depending on the type of receipt printed. Adagio Invoices specs also have a similar setup for detail sections, except that instead of a selection field for the type, you enter the style code letter associated with the item type. Thus, different types of items can have different information print on the invoice, with as many detail sections defined as needed. Order entry and sales CQ detail section setup is quite different, where the desired detail type is chosen directly from the section type field, of which there are many different types, creating only those sections needed on the spec. Time and billing specs are the most complicated of all, as there are not only detail sections, but also a third level of sub-detail sections, meaning that each kind of detail might have its own separate header and footer section, along with a list of amounts. Other options you may define on section properties are the ability to suppress an entire section from printing if all field values are blank, typically used for detail sections that only contain a description, and a visual grid to assist in aligning fields and objects together, or positioning fields on a specific location on the page. There are also settings for putting a border around the section or setting a background color if desired. The height of each section can be set manually here, if the precise size is known, or can also be set visually by selecting the bar below the section and dragging it down to the desired height. Choose Yes to the question to move all objects below, so that the result is just a change of the section height. There are only a few restrictions to section heights. No single section can be larger than the entire page, nor can the sum of the header and footer heights together. And if both kinds of footer sections are used, then they need to be of equal height. To insert a new section into a specification, the best way is to increase the size of the section that will be above it, thus creating more space. Then click the Section button on the toolbar to put the cursor into insert mode, and finally, click in the approximate location for the new section header. From here, the new section properties can be entered, and the respective section heights can be corrected to what they need to be. Organize your specification forms with the desired information in the proper sections. Find out more about Adagio from the product page on our website. Watch another training video on this Adagio program from the playlist, or subscribe to the Adagio YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.